Welcome to Girl, Geek, and the Gay, the show that can get you prosecuted just for saying his name in Florida. I am Jose, and to my left I have the beautiful Jaime.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not bad. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just getting by.
Yeah. Just by. That's it.
Yeah. Just getting by. I tried Halo Online.
Okay.
Finally, I got the guts to jump in and play online.
Yeah.
And I was doing very well. So you start off unranked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to play 10 games, and the game will assign you a ranking.
Oh, okay.
So I played my 10 games, and I got my ranking, which was gold number 3. And I was like, yeah, like I'm just as good as I remember being.
Okay.
And then I looked at the rankings, and like I'm like somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
So I'm a lot more average than I thought.
That's not bad though.
Yeah, they got like gold one. They have bronze 1 through 6.
Yeah.
Silver 1 through 6. Gold 1 through 6.
Yeah.
Platinum 1 through 6. Diamond 1 through 6.
That's
and
ridiculous.
Onyx is the highest.
What the fuck?
Highest rank. And I'm just like, okay.
Wait, so you go to bronze and then silver and then gold, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But,
Yeah.
So I just started off in gold. So I just skipped about 12 levels.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of levels. It sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me because I've been playing Dead by Daylight a lot, and I'm in the silver rank myself right now. So, but then again, ours only goes up to iridescent, so like it's like red.
I don't even know what that means.
It's blood. It's like the blood color basically is what they. It's just red, a vibrant red that they show, but that's just they call it iridescent, for whatever reason they want to do that.
Okay.
And then you get up to gold, same thing. But they finally released Unreal. I think I told you that. But I've been playing as her as the ghost from The Ring.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun. It makes me mad when I don't kill people in the game, and I'm like, am I a psycho? No, but the whole point of it as a killer is to kill people, But yeah, like I can tell that there's some games that go really well, some games that go really bad. So I'm kind of in the same boat right now. I'm like, hey, I thought it was good, and then like you get up to the higher ranks, and you're just like, oh, all 4 of them escaped, great, But it's been fun though too. So I've been really into that, I'm trying to just improve on my killer skills, I should say, because I'm mostly a survivor in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get to choose, or is it random?
No, you get to choose. So
okay.
Yeah, you have the option. You have the option to be survivor or killer. Like whenever you play, it's one of the options at the bottom. And so, but again, there's only 1 killer in the round, and then there's 4 survivors. Yeah, which, in my opinion, I think that if we had 1 less survivor, the game would be more fun for the killers, because it's just they like survivors go through shit really fast, and this is a debate that you see online on YouTube a lot about it. They say that killers like they think that like survivors, of course, most survivors think that killers are overpowered, as they should be. Like there's one of them against 4 of you guys, and a lot of and then the killers feel like the survivors get everything to save them and more,
Yeah.
And it's very true. It's very like I feel like survivors we get a lot, like there's a lot that happens. And then there's this whole like rule book about like how you should play the game, even though that's not how the game works.
So kind of like a gentleman's agreement type thing.
Yeah. It's called the Survivor's Handbook is what they call it online, and to me it's made up by somebody who didn't like that killers were winning though, because so one of the things that they call it tunneling, right? Or even like, hook like camping, right? So if you hook a survivor, right, you have the option to stay there or go look for other survivors, right? Mm-hmm. Some people stay there and just wait for survivors to come. Some people let that survivor get saved and then just focus on that one survivor. To me, that's a very real like way to play the game. Yeah, like my first goal is to take somebody out.
Yeah,
because I need to slow down the game for myself. Otherwise it's just me. And I noticed that like when I try to play more balanced for the survivors, I win less. You know, but it's like, I mean, again, it comes with skill, it comes with practice and stuff like that. But I also, it's a very real strategy. Like you should take one of them out because they're going through stuff really fast. They pair off, they go even faster. It's pretty crazy. But it's a rule book made to balance the experience, but the game itself like is not made in that way. So you can't make up your own. It's like playing Monopoly and saying this is how I'm going to play and I win because of it. You know, like how people make up rules along the way type of thing. So that's my only gripe about that whole debate. It's like, no, just play the game however you want to play it. If somebody wants to camp, that's them. That's boring. I wouldn't want to do that. I would want to go hunt some others, you know, or hunt the one that I hooked already. And you're the fool for getting them off the hook too early, you know, type of thing. So, but that's just my little thing. Especially, and now seeing it from the killer side, like, yeah, it's a real strategy. Like you have to do it that way. I'm not gonna stand there and wait for somebody to show up. I'll go far, and look for somebody else in the meantime. But as soon as I know that somebody pulled you off the hook, I'm gonna fly right at you as best as I can. So.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I used to play Splinter Cell online.
Okay.
And listening to you talk about it, it's very similar. Mm-hmm. So you play 4 spies versus 4 mercenaries.
Oh, okay.
So the mercenaries are definitely overpowered. Mercenaries play in first-person view.
Oh, okay.
So they have stronger weapons. They have certain gadgets, but not much.
Okay.
They have body armor, helmets, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the spies are quicker, you know, third-person camera.
Yeah.
They have gadgets.
Yeah.
And they have guns and everything.
Probably more stealth.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah.
The night vision goggles and everything. Like they have all this cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And people were complaining like, oh, the spies are way too overpowered. But then people are also complaining like, oh, the mercenaries are too overpowered.
Yeah.
And it's like, shut up and play, dude.
Yeah.
They really end up being leveled out, like balanced out.
Yeah.
Because you still have guns as a secret agent, but you have like little cheap guns, you know.
Yeah.
And the mercenaries have all this body armor.
Yeah.
And like in the opposite, the mercenaries still like they can only see a certain amount. Like they only have
it's not a bigger view, like you said,
because it's first person.
Yeah.
While a spy gets the whole view of everything.
Right.
So it's very balanced out.
Yeah.
It's just people complain.
Yeah, and it's very similar to the killer because the killer also first person point of view.
Yeah.
Whereas the survivors, you're seeing it from the third person.
Yeah.
So you do get more range of view as well. Like you literally can like spin around in circles around yourself with the camera, and see everything that's going on when you're like working on a generator or something, right?
Yeah.
But then the killer only sees if you're spinning in circles.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you're doing. You know, you're not really seeing much. And it's a fun game. Like again, if you don't like playing it, don't play it. You know, because you have to take the good with the bad, you know.
Of course.
And there are obvious things to me that need to be improved about the game. You know, it's been around for a while though, 5 years at this point. And so it's only been 5 years because they just celebrated the 5-year anniversary recently, or they're gonna celebrate the 5-year. One of the two. I'm not sure if it's that, but and it's come a long way. I do have to say though, the maps, like the newer maps especially, or some of the maps in general, like they're too big for for killers. I do have to say that as a killer, because as a survivor, that's not an issue for me because it's easier for me to hide. I know I'm less likely to be found all the way across the board, you know, as opposed to, you know, as a killer, you have to travel to try to find somebody, you know, as opposed to you traveling to hide, you know, do you know what I'm saying? Like that's the difference. And this is why I go back to one less survivor would balance out the game a little bit more, in my opinion. But that's just me. But I do enjoy the game as a survivor. Killer
or one more killer.
I mean, if it's 2 killers, then I feel like you have to add one more survivor if you add 2 killers, though. So because then it's like, you know, about 2 each and a third type of thing. You know, I mean, just a thing. You know,
or keep it 2 killers, 4 survivors, and a bigger map.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Yeah, it would be.
All right, we fixed it.
God damn it, listen to us. No, I mean, but everybody has their takes about it, you know. I love the video game. I'm just gonna keep playing. If I get stressed out about being a killer, I could be a survivor. That's not an issue. You know, I like being a survivor too. So it's a fun game. Just find fun in it. You know, it's a game. That's what it is. You know. So yeah. What else has been up?
So when was it? I think it was Monday. Monday we got sent out to Fontana, right?
Okay.
And me and my coworker drove up there, and the lot is a big dirt lot.
Oh.
My truck, like I've mentioned, like it doesn't work very well. I will brake and the tires will keep spinning, trying to move the truck either forward or backwards, which is really obnoxious. I'm sure I'm gonna hit something at some point.
Yeah.
So I hooked onto my trailer, and the tires, of course, like they kept spinning when I hooked on.
Yeah.
And it ended up making a hole. So my truck got stuck.
Oh, no.
And trucks usually have this interaction differential you could turn on, and it makes all of the tires spin.
Oh, okay.
So it gives it enough power to pull out.
Yeah.
My truck doesn't have that much power. Like the transmission doesn't have that much power right now because that's the main issue with my truck.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for my coworker to come by and help pull me out. Mm-hmm. And he gets stuck. So now we were sitting there with a shovel.
You're in a train, got it.
Yeah. We're sitting there with a shovel, trying to dig him out, and putting rocks like under his tire because his tire is just like spinning, but there's like nothing under it at that point.
Yeah.
So it took us about an hour to get him unstuck.
Wow.
And then he came in and was able to pull me out.
Yeah.
But it was an ordeal.
Yeah.
And that was one of those moments where we were headed over there, but both of us were like, we don't want to go because we were both falling asleep too. Because it's also a far drive.
Yeah.
And it's at
nighttime. Yeah.
And so we were both falling asleep. And I asked him like, all right, do we want to just go home? And he goes, oh, let's just do one more. One more is always a fucking issue. Every time I do that, let's just one more.
Oh, no.
Something happens.
Oh, no.
And we got stuck up there. And we weren't even able to bring anything. The container that he grabbed, the tires on the container were stuck. So they wouldn't spin. And there was a huge hole under mine, so I couldn't grab that either.
Yeah, wow.
So we ended up coming back with nothing.
You have such good luck.
It was terrible, man.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
I was so tired. I was covered in dirt.
Yeah.
Good times. What about you, man? What have you been up to since the last time I saw you?
I know.
Forever ago.
Well, so I'm still kind of. I've gotten back on board with like trying to eat better. I should say. I don't like to say healthy, but I do. I drink like pressed juices and stuff like that here at home. Anyway, I'm trying to eat better, eat less, and walking and like using my elliptical type of thing more. So I told you a little bit earlier I lost 6 pounds, so I'm really proud of myself.
Congratulations!
I'm stoked. So but that's been my focus. Well, I didn't really tell anybody this. I was like in the ER 2 nights ago, or was it last night?
Were you visiting?
Yeah, I was just there chilling. Okay, no.
You wanted to see how the other half lives?
So it was. We had pizza that night. Was it? No, it wasn't pizza night. It was the day after that, and I just felt like at a certain point, I started getting this weird, like, I wouldn't really call it a pain. It was almost like just a discomforting, like, tingle in my chest, I don't know how else to describe it. And so it was like a pulsing thing, right? So like I even felt it in my fingers. So I'm like, what is going on with me, And like usually I can knock out, but it kept waking me up throughout the night. And I was like, this is weird. But I've been trying to eat better. I've been walking. I'm like, bitch, I'm going to die now, like, no, but,
your body's like, what is this?
You're doing it backwards.
Give me some grease.
Right. So at about 3 a.m., I was like, Adolfo, I think I need to go to the doctor, because I also started getting kind of anxious about it too. I'm like, all right, if I'm ignoring this and something serious is happening, then I'm fucking up, And then I started like kind of, so I started freaking out a little bit, maybe breathing different because, you start overthinking it a little bit. And so I went to the ER and pretty much they were like, oh, you just have like really bad heartburn. I was like, fuck. Okay. So mind you, I'm sitting there with an IV in my arm, just like the tubing, like in case they need to put me on IV. They did an EKG. They ended up giving me some lidocaine, I think it's called, and some Mylanta. So at a certain point, I was like, so the doctor said, that I'm good. He checked my EKG. He said it's not my heart. He said it was probably the jalapeno peanuts that I had.
Wow.
He said that. And I'm like, can I just go now? Because they were like, oh, okay, it could take it up to an hour for you to get an X-ray. And I'm like, well, it's already like 5 a.m. Can I go? And the guy was like, he was kind of like looking at me kind of weird. Yeah. And I was like, well, I'm not trying to be a jackass. It's just like he already kind of came to the conclusion.
He already cleared you?
Yeah, he already. Well, he can. Yeah, he based on like the blood work. They even did blood work within that time. And based on what the doc, and they keep telling me your age, you're too young for a heart attack. I don't fucking know that, like if it happens, it could happen. Though it could happen. It does happen. And so
it's rare, but it's not unheard of.
And to be honest, it's one of those things that's always in the back of my mind, and I think it's because I'm generally not that healthy. In my opinion, like maybe I'm more healthy than I think, but in my opinion, I'm like I wish I could be healthier type of thing, right? Just eating better and stuff like that, right? Because I know I eat bad sometimes. So it's always like, bitch, you're going to die, like if you don't eat better. Or that's just my thought, I'm like a worst case scenario type of guy. I've told you this before. Yeah.
I've seen it.
You're dead, Anyway, so yeah, like at a certain point I was just like, can I leave? And they're like, so you're saying you don't want to do the x-ray? I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Am I a jackass? Right? I even asked the guy, I'm not trying to be I told him, I'm not trying to be a jackass. I just... Based on what he said, I'm okay. He goes, yeah, you can go. Let me get your paperwork. Anyway, I paid a lot of money just to know that I had really bad heartburn.
I'm sure.
But then again, I'm not dead.
But you also could have been alive with the money.
Yeah, but I also slept better after. Yeah, and it was a flexible spending account, so that kind of helps. Do you know what that is?
No idea.
You can. It's just. Out of your paycheck, well, they give you a lump sum of money for health, like health expenses. Excuse me, health expenses. But then you just pay it back across your check, so across the year. So I had like $300. It was $200. My emergency, like my ER visit, was $200 for them to tell me I had heartburn. Embarrassing. I was so embarrassed. That's why I wanted to leave. I was like, all right, these guys are probably like, this guy thought he was dying. I did.
This 35-year-old thought he was having a heart attack.
I don't know, anyway. But yeah, that was me 2 nights ago.
on my 30th birthday. On my 30th birthday. God. I woke up with my heart hurting. And I was like, oh no, this is how I go. Oh well.
That's a thing, by the way, between the ages of like 27 and 30, which is generally the return of Saturn, is when for
everybody?
It's a gay thing. Yeah, so Saturn is in the same place or between the ages of 27 and 30. You're gonna look this up?
No, I just found the name of the episode.
Return of Saturn. That's an album by No Doubt as well, by the way. And now I know why. Anyway, between the ages of 27 and 30, the Saturn is repositioned back in the same place it was when you were born. So a lot of like famous people or people in general, like it's also in the astrology world. It's a transition from being an adolescent to being an adult, and some people can't handle that, so they die. Or they, like, for example, Amy Winehouse died at 27. 27 is a bit
the whole
like
27 club.
Yeah, exactly. Kurt Cobain, same thing. So I'm not making fun of. I'm not laughing at them dying. I'm just laughing at your reaction.
You're so gay.
Sometimes. But yeah. So if you would have died at 30, it would have been your return to Saturn to take you out. Yeah.
All right. So that happened.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
Yes, sir. Let's talk about it.
All right. So we got news, of course.
Yes.
We actually don't have much. Well, I mean, in the terms of actual show, we have news. We got a couple episodes of Doctor Who.
Yes. Wait, a couple episodes?
You said 2.
Oh, I meant 1.
You son of a bitch.
I don't remember. No, I said 1. You said
I asked you.
Said 1 or 2 and 2, and I was like,
yes.
And I was like, oh shit, I did 1 of each.
You son of a bitch.
Sorry. Hey, but anyway.
So we got 1 episode of Doctor Who and 1 episode of
DoomPatrol. Yes. I do have a Pokemon.
And we do have Pokemon.
Yes, just for you. Since I only did 1 episode.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Who's that Pokemon?
Wait, but that's later. Too soon. Yeah, so and also just real quick before we jump on it, on Spotify now, the timestamps actually take you to they're like links now.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, it takes you to like
to the section?
To sections. Yeah,
all
exactly.
Right, cool.
Specific. So I always put timestamps on. Same thing with YouTube, it's the same thing. Yeah, so that's cool. It works now.
All right, good to know.
I don't know if it's the same on Apple though, so that's up in the air.
All right. Okay, so let's jump into some news.
Yay.
I don't know if you heard this story, the Nintendo Wii story. Have you heard of it?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, so Jeremy sent me this story.
I'm like, who's Jeremy? I'm just kidding, Jeremy. Hi.
Well, listener Jeremy sent us this story.
Yes.
And it took me a while to find that it wasn't a true story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because he sent it to me as if it were real. I read it and I was like, this isn't real. And then I could not find anything to disprove this story until I did.
Oh, okay, good.
So it's not a true story. But Nintendo says that all their still functioning Wiis will self-destruct come 2023.
What? It doesn't sound real.
Exactly. Due to changing standards in the gaming industry and better hardware being available, we think it's best if every single Wii that is still in perfect working order just bursts into flames one day next year, said Doug Bowser, president of Nintendo America. This is all from the article. Just melting and shooting parts all over across the room.
Oh my god.
Once we get this new Switch Sports game out, we really don't want anyone enjoying past versions of it. I'm sure you understand.
What the fuck?
So, I mean, the guy's name's Bowser, first off.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
That should be a giveaway.
No. That's his real name.
Oh, is it really?
Yes. That's the real part.
Okay.
He's the new CEO. Yeah. Well, the US version of it. That's his real name.
Yes. Yeah, like I said, like this article is purely satire, but it was so difficult just finding ways to disprove it because every time you look it up, it just links you to different articles that say the same thing.
What the
But
fuck?
it all goes back to this article, which I think was from Hardware.
Yeah.
But reading the comments was great. Like one of them just was like, there was the briefest second after I read the title that I didn't question it at all.
What the fuck?
Someone else says, this explains why my Wii keeps claiming it's microwavable and to test the feature. My favorite one, though, was catching fire has been a feature since the original Xbox. Catch up, Nintendo.
Oh. And just for the record, this is not a real story, guys. We're not reporting false news. That's hilarious, though.
Well, that's kind of how I started it.
Yeah, I know. I just want to remind people because then they'll clip out just part of it, and then we'll get canceled.
Oh, great.
Who are we, John Barrowman?
I guess I gotta show you my dick now.
I mean, I've been waiting. I don't know. Anyway,
so speaking of John Barrowman,
okay,
no, not really. Doctor Who news. So Christopher Eccleston has softened his claims to never returning to Doctor Who again on TV at least. So because he's been doing audio dramas and stuff.
Yeah, you told me.
But his condition is if he comes back, he wants to be the only Doctor. He doesn't want to do like a multi-Doctor story.
Wait, so the softening is him just being the only Doctor?
Yeah, like him coming back and just making an episode or
so he doesn't want to do a movie.
He just doesn't want to share screen time.
Okay, bye. We don't need you.
He said, I've never been a fan of multi-Doctor stories. You know, when I worked on the series, I had really strong ideas. Surprise, surprise, about what works and what doesn't. And I always think that multi-Doctor stories are a bit of a cash-in and a bit of exploitation. Creatively, they never worked for me. The Ninth in particular is a one-man band, definitely. So he doesn't work with other Doctors. Yeah. If you want to get me back, you get me on my own.
I can see that, though. I mean, based on even what he's saying and then that series, it was a very solo act, you know?
Yeah. And also, it's not going to happen because, especially with everybody that basically started the show in 2005 again, having come back to run the show. Yeah. Like Russell T. Davis and Eccleston already don't see eye to eye.
Yeah, it's already
so it's not like he's going to be like, all right, just come over and we'll do an episode or two.
Yeah. And so at this point, I mean, just like I said, things could be very, passe, right? Or like just whatever between their relationship. It would be the same thing with him coming back, even just for like a solo adventure. Like, who's really that interested? Not to be jacked up, but there's already been a bunch of Doctors since him, and some really good ones. David Tennant, like we talked about. So it'd be okay to like just pass him up.
Yeah, and even then, he's doing the audio dramas.
Yeah.
So we got that.
Oh yeah.
The audio dramas are actually really good.
Oh yeah.
If you ever have a chance, you should check them out.
Yeah. Do they put them like on YouTube or anything?
I don't know.
I'll check.
I think Big Finish is the one that has them out, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean they're usually really good, really well done.
Are they voiced like each character has different voices? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, cool.
And they've had like Paul McGann come back and do. Paul McGann was the 8th Doctor. He was a Doctor in the movie, in the American movie.
Okay.
And
The American movie. I don't think I saw that.
So Paul McGann was only the Doctor in the American movie, and then Stephen Moffat brought him back.
Oh, okay.
For the 50th anniversary, but to kind of just kill him and regenerate into John Hurt.
Okay.
This is well, Paul McGann was only the Doctor for like one movie.
Yeah, was he older?
No,
Like an older guy?
No, he was a young guy.
Okay.
And so they brought him back to do more audio books, audio stories, and I hear they're really good. I haven't listened to them.
Oh, cool.
But I hear they're really good. Stranger Things coming to an end.
Oh, okay.
Are you still watching Stranger Things?
No.
I think we watched.
Yeah, I mean, it should have came to an end a while ago. Yeah. Not like I'm not being jacked up, but it's like it was a good story. Like the first one, I don't know about the second one because I didn't see it, but it could have ended. Things go on too long sometimes.
Yeah, the first one was really good. The second one was fine. The third one, I lost interest.
Yeah.
Netflix announced the ending of Stranger Things. It seems the show will be coming to an end in season 5. So that means we got 2 more seasons of this.
Okay, so there's a 4th one being worked on, and then season 5 is going to come out after that.
Yes.
Got it.
Sean Levy, he said, well, we never wanted to run out of fumes, and we wanted to tell as much story as the brothers saw and feel with clarity. So it's been clear for a while that they know exactly where they're headed with this arc. We wouldn't want to stick around for one more moment beyond that vision and that clarity of that voice.
Yeah, and it's all about like the interest. I think you can make something really good and end it, know?
Oh, yeah.
And
Breaking Bad.
Yeah. But even that, they could have ended probably like 2 seasons sooner or a season sooner. Like the last season, I feel like they were just throwing every bad guy, every other bad guy.
I feel like the last season was where they kind of tied everything together, though.
Okay. Sure. It just felt like too much, like at the end for me too.
And also, Sean Levy, speaking of, is I think he just got hired on to direct Deadpool 3.
Oh, cool.
I recognize that name. Yeah.
There was something I read with him in it recently too.
Yeah, because he did Free Guy, and then he did another Ryan Reynolds movie,
oh,
the Netflix one.
That reminds me. I don't know if you have, this story in there.
Probably.
And because it has to do with Sean Levy, because like you said, the Free Guy. So there's reports that people are upset that Disney Plus has added.
Yes, I
that was on there.
That.
Okay.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Did you see the trailer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not interested.
I actually thought it looked really good.
No, I mean,
and the score, like that John Williams score, because John Williams came back to score this show. I think it looks good.
Cool.
And we've been through this. I'm not huge on Star Wars.
Yeah.
I used to be at some point.
Yeah. It's just it's a timeline situation for me now.
Yeah, that's true.
He's dead
because it is going back.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like Solo, like just those things. It's just like, okay,
Solo.
Like and like you have really good characters. You had them have their moments.
Yeah. Move on. I get it. I can totally see that.
Yeah.
All right. Batman.
Which one?
So all this Batterson talk, we totally skipped out on Keanu Reeves.
Hey, what about him?
Keanu Reeves being the Batman.
He's gonna be the Batman
in the League of Extraordinary Pets. Is that what it's called? Or Super Pets?
Oh, okay. Sure.
If you see the trailer, he's just like, I am Batman. that Keanu Reeves voice was just, it doesn't jive well
with
for Batman.
To Surfer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm interested.
I don't think about these cartoons. I don't like it's Pets and it's The Rock.
And Kevin Hart. But come on, there's Keanu.
Okay. They couldn't get Madison. At least cohesiveness.
Henry
Did he
Cavill
talk in the movie? Now that I think about it, I don't remember saying anything.
His voice would crack sometimes, which made it funny because like sometimes he would sound cool, like I am vengeance, and then other times you were going to do this.
Maybe that's why I kept laughing at him every time I saw his face. I was like, "You're a joke." Anyway,
Henry Cavill possibly making a return to the Superman role in The Flash.
Okay.
So trusted sources have let it be known that while Cavill was never a part of the original concept, he originally he was meant to appear kind of like in news footage in the background and stuff. Kind of like he did in no, not even because he came out in Batman vs Superman. I guess
Batman versus Superman.
He'd be like in the news news. So, but now they're saying that with all the delays that the film has gone through, that they might actually bring him back to reprise his role. Nothing is set in stone, but it's a possibility. They really want to anchor this movie to that whole DCEU,
the new
Snyderverse type thing, and I guess to kind of reset it. I mean, that's the only thing I can imagine.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot of stuff going on.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
So I mean, with that, we could talk about the shifts in the release dates.
Oh yeah.
Although no reason has been given to why the projects have changed. The Flash has gone from November 4th of this year to June 23rd of 2023.
That's crazy. I heard about
7 months, man. That's a huge difference.
I heard about what the other movie, Black Adam, being pushed back because it was like announced by The Rock himself.
Yeah.
But it's just I didn't know Flash got pushed back even more.
Yeah, but I mean, because Black Adam is still set to be released this year.
It's still this year, but it got pushed back further. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because
but they didn't say they didn't give a reason why.
No reason why. But yeah, Black Adam. Has been shifted to October 21st, 2022. Aquaman and the Last Kingdom to March 17th, 2023.
Jesus.
Shazam has been moved up, though. December 2022.
Oh. But I thought that was in like July. It was supposed to come out.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out next year, but that got pushed up.
Oh, July of next year?
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to come out July of this year. Because I thought those 4 movies were coming out this year.
I don't know, because the story I read just says Shazam was moved up.
To December. Shazam, not Black Adam. Sorry.
No, not Black Adam.
Yeah, my
bad. Black Adam, November.
Got it.
It could possibly also mean the delay of Batgirl, since it's introducing Michael Keaton as a Batman.
Oh.
So without the Flash bringing him into the universe,
that makes sense. It gets pushed back even further.
Yeah. So possibly that hasn't been confirmed or anything, but that just makes sense.
Yeah.
Arkham TV show. Kind of touched on this last week when I mentioned GCPD had been canceled.
Oh, okay.
But I had just read the story on my way here, so it looks like the Gotham PD show has been canceled, and instead we're going to get one based on Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum seems to be more of a horror series based on the inmates and Hugo Strange as their psychiatrist, which I think could really be interesting. It could really flesh out a character. Mm-hmm. The show is still all in pre-production though, so all of it can change.
Yeah,
there really isn't much.
Yeah,
but I think that could sound a little. I think that sounds interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of just beat them up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, we're getting another Penguin TV show, and I feel like we all got that with Gotham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So are they just going to remake Gotham?
Well, see, and Gotham was like various different stories, like it was Jim Gordon, it was Penguin, Riddler. There's so many Fish Mooney, which was probably my favorite character of the show. Yeah. I'm totally like, okay. Because it does, like you said, it feels like we've had that already,
It was funny because going through trying to write down all the stories.
Yeah.
I had 37 stories.
Oh wow.
I had 37 stories.
Yeah.
And going through each one by one, I realized that only like 10 of them were viable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, I spent so much time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so it seems that Ray Fisher is still really mad at Warner Brothers because of their mishandling with the situation with Joss Whedon. Ray Fisher is
Cyborg.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that now because of you.
So Ray Fisher's kind of getting on my nerves.
Okay.
Because I'm like, we've all had shitty jobs, bro. Move on.
Yeah.
Like you weren't assaulted. You weren't you were mistreated.
Yeah.
We've all had that shitty job.
You're gonna have to deal with those. people.
Fucking move on.
Yeah.
So the Flash released a new logo. Fisher responded by calling out Walter Hamada, the president of DC Films, searching for an apology for abuse seen on set of Justice League. Like, dude, what do you want? I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
Just move on, bro.
And then that would end it, or what?
Go fucking have your career.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
And then see, that's where the focus. There's too much focus on that situation, as opposed to like you said, trying to have a career. Because then what else is he in? I don't really know.
Nothing.
What else he's been in?
Because Justice League was his first movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of the end of it. And well, the reason I'm saying that is like, well, yeah, like it's his first movie, and again, in my head, I go back to like the choices that were made. You know, like it wasn't like we had an established cyborg, you know, already or actor that plays cyborg. You know, so him coming in new, and then this being his experience, and now he's just stuck on that moment. He just feels like he's never gonna come out of it. Maybe like that. He needs to focus on his career.
Yeah, but it's like, bro, like, yeah, you were mistreated. Like, we've all had that shitty job.
Yeah.
You know what we do? We move on.
Yeah.
We leave. We go do other things.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he treated me bad.
Yeah.
It's part of life. All right, move on. But Hamada and Toby Emmerich made positive news with their handling of the Batman and the merger between Warner Brothers and Discovery Media. Fisher made it clear that his feelings have not changed in the slightest. He called the piece laughable for shedding any positive lights on Emmerich and Hamada. He said, Toby Emmerich and Walter Hamada must be really scared of this Discovery merger. These public credit grabs and puff pieces about why they shouldn't be fired are laughable. If Toby wants to talk about directors, we should talk about his hiring and protecting of Joss Whedon. Like, bro, like Joss Whedon isn't getting work anymore. Yeah. What else do you want? Yeah. Like, Joss Whedon was fired from the TV show he created.
Wow.
The Nevers. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
I haven't either. I hear mixed reviews. I kind of want to check it out, but...
what was it about?
I don't know.
Oh. The Nevers.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's kind of done, you know, like you did what you did. Other people spoke out. You guys all banded together. And if he already got fired from the show that he was working on for being a shitty person.
When's the last time you heard Gal Gadot talk about this?
Yeah.
The last time she mentioned it was because Joss Whedon brought it up.
Yeah, the whole thing about her language, right?
Yeah.
The language barrier? Yeah, exactly.
When's the last time you heard Affleck talk about this? Affleck didn't even bother responding to Joss Whedon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you have not heard anybody else in this movie complaining as much as you.
It's time to focus on something.
Yeah, dude, move the fuck on. Yeah. Like, you got a part in a huge movie. Yeah. And it didn't pan out. That happens a lot. Yeah. And like I said, we've all been mistreated by
maybe he feels like this is the reason why he doesn't get other jobs or other, you know, movie opportunities and things like that, you know? Maybe that's what he feels.
But is this going to help?
No. It's not. It's really not. It reminds me of the situation with the guy from The Matrix, the one that played he played the captain, the driver. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, Hank, right? I think. I don't know. Well, the guy that wanted more money for the sequels.
For the sequels, and then he said he'll do it for free, and then it just went back and forth. Like, he wanted more money, threw a big fit about it, you know, like when he didn't get more money, and then he said he would do it free. It was this big old crazy moment, but then he keeps, even to this day, I hear there are stories that he's still pressing the situation, you know? And it's like, well, we've never seen you in anything else. The whole money thing, I mean, you can ask for more money, right? Yeah. Then nothing's wrong with that, you know? You have to know, I mean, obviously certain people are going to be bigger stars, right? Like Keanu Reeves and I can't remember her name, the main actress.
Carrie-Anne Moss,
right? They're going to be bigger stars. So yeah, those people are going to get more in a lot of senses. I didn't watch The Matrix because of him. You know, he was just the captain, but pursue something more. But at the same time, you got to let it go at a certain point. You know, you're making yourself look really bad.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So Parents TV Council, which is, I think, what you were talking about.
Oh, the Disney Plus thing?
Yeah. So the PTC is speaking out against Disney ahead of March 16th update that will release the Netflix Marvel shows. For more than 98 years, the Walt Disney Company has been synonymous with the words family-friendly, and I can think of no other corporation in American history that has been built more squarely on the backs and on the wallets of parents and families, said Tim Winter, president of the PTC. The company's eponymous platform, Disney Plus, logically marketed itself as a family-friendly streaming service, and parents have placed their trust on Disney to deliver just that. It seems wildly off-brand for Disney Plus to add TVMA and R-rated programming to this platform, ostensibly to increase subscription revenue. So what comes next? Adding live striptease performances in Fantasyland at Disney World?
My God.
If they did, I would go.
I mean, California Adventure.
So they while the PTC has applauded the update of the parental controls, they say that the mere presence of MA and R-rated content violates the trust of families and may well turn them off entirely.
Okay, bye. I mean, like, okay, these
Disney's really gonna hurt.
I mean, it's a small group of people that thinks that family only means one thing now. you know? And that's the biggest load of shit ever, you know? And that's the problem. Like, and you have these people who are in charge of this type of, situation, whatever the fuck it is, you know? Like, it's like, they're parental controls. It was an announcement that, like, we know has been coming for a while. You know, it's not like it's a surprise, right? Parental controls exist. If you don't want your kids to see it, it's okay. You can turn it off. You know, you can turn off that content, right? If that's really what you value.
But the mere presence, Jaime.
But it's stupid. It's so stupid. I saw this guy comment, and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't understand why they comment on the story." And it was like, I don't understand why. I couldn't even understand why they added the new guy. Was that what it was called? Onto Disney Plus. You know, like, I was really shocked. And now
that
with this
PG-13.
And now with this, like, I don't, like, I just don't know. It's like, what decade do you live in? You know, what the hell time is this? It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Not only that, they've been behind the campaigns to cancel Netflix 13 Reasons Why and HBO's Euphoria. Neither network has canceled their shows.
No, of course not. They're going to get nowhere.
Especially because Euphoria's a juggernaut, basically.
Yeah, at this point, they're making money. Yeah. I haven't watched it, but I've heard a lot about it.
It's really good, but it's not. It's really heavy.
Yeah,
I can't.
I'm sure.
I can't do it.
Yeah. I mean,
but it's really good. Like, it really is.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. Well, I've heard that it's a really good show, but it's just like, it's like we're in it's a whole different, like, it's 2022 at this point, you know, like, it's even the ratings to me are stupid. Like, I don't care, you know, like, if you say the word bitch, I don't give a fuck, you know, like, that's just, it's realistic, you know, like, you can still have conversations, and your kids are gonna hear this shit anyway, you know, whether it's at school. I mean, unless you're homeschooling, then, you know, they hear your conspiracy theories probably. So no, but it's just, it's obnoxious. Who cares? Use the parental controls. It's not that hard. Stop being a bitch.
It really isn't.
Yeah. Grow the fuck up. How old are you that you're complaining about this? You know?
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it is. Man. These are the kids that don't grow up well adjusted.
Yeah.
You try to shield them from so much, and then
it's not real life.
Not just that, you know? It causes them to lash out more. I feel if you're always telling them no, then you know that's what they're gonna want when they get older.
Yeah, and it pushes people, you know, in a certain direction. You know, it pushes kids in a certain direction. It pushes them away from you because you're like this authority that says no to everything. You know, at the same time, I don't know. I'm not a dad. Also, I don't want to be a dad, but it's 2022. I'm already that, though. Anyway, but it's unrealistic, you know, to think that this is gonna stop a company like Disney.
Especially a company like Disney.
And
like, they don't give a fuck about you.
More people more adults can appreciate like, it's not so much just about kids anymore. They have other things, right? Like, obviously we watch comic book movies.
Yeah, and I feel like Disney has been growing up along with us.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, they are, and this is people talk shit about the corporations and stuff like that. But are
we dying?
I don't know. People talk shit about, like, Disney and stuff like that, but also they are the leaders in, like, a lot. Well, when you see movies with Disney Plus in it, they have a more diverse in it, more diverse cast, more inclusiveness. There's a lot that they do that people just focus on the corporate part of it, you know?
Well, not even, because people don't like the inclusivity either. Because there are no black people in space, Jaime. Remember the whole Star Wars controversy?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they do those things, right? And that's the problem. People don't like change, you know, and that's what they're mad about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I turned it down. I gotta catch a Pokemon. It's also Pokemon Community Day today, Jose.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I already got one shiny of each, but I could use more. But here we are. I'm just kidding.
I'm keeping you from your walk today.
Yeah, for my Pokemon.
Ryan Coogler news. Did you hear about the story with Ryan Coogler?
I don't know who that is.
The director of Black Panther.
Oh, yes. Okay. Let's talk about it. So, I mean, okay.
All right. So Ryan Coogler walked into a Bank of America with his mask on, a beanie, and sunglasses. Right.
Mm-hmm.
He hands the receptionist a withdrawal slip of $17,000 with a note on the back that says, "Hand him the money discreetly."
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a little bit. It was not exactly that, but yeah.
They also noticed there was a black SUV outside.
Oh, God.
With the engine running.
I missed that part. See, I didn't know that part. Yeah.
So of course the teller alerted management, and it sounds like a bank robbery.
Yeah.
Every step of the way, and I like that the way the Bank of America defended itself was like, the bank teller's black.
So I don't. Anyway,
they were so quick to be like, it's not racism.
Yeah. Well, and so she, there was a video I saw about it on TikTok because that's where I get my news. But there was actual
most people do Facebook.
It was, yeah, that's not reliable at all. I feel like I get real news on TikTok. Wow. Just kidding. I mean, but okay. So she was black. She was pregnant. Not that has anything to do with it, but she is pregnant.
And probably still black.
Did I say she was?
Yes.
Okay, she is black and she is pregnant, but it also depends on when you listen to this show, right? Because it could be 5 years down the line, and who knows if she's both at the time, you know? Like, wait, that's weird. That was terrible. That's not what I meant. Anyway.
No, go on, please.
No. Okay, so... you know how I'm very woke, quote unquote, is what you and Megan like to say. Even Adolfo says I'm quote unquote woke. Okay, I feel for the bank teller in this situation, and I feel for the director of Black Panther. What's his name?
Ryan Coogler. Okay,
I feel for them both. You know, I also understand why the cops had to do what they did. You know, as a logical person, not saying that he's not logical, but as a person like me personally, as me being the logical person that I am, opposed to everybody, you know, whoever is, however they want to be, I would have reached out to the bank first. I would have prepared a process, you know, to take out that amount of money, you know, $12,000, I think it was. 17. It's more than I thought, but that's a lot of money. I would never be the type of person that would go into a bank with a note. Still in the age of pandemic, you know, with a mask on. And that's always been kind of like a fear in the back of my head too, is like, this
could look like a thug.
I mean, especially when I buzz my hair, you know, like definitely, you know, like it's a real thing. Like I'm not, it has like, I haven't had any drama about it, but I can tell that certain people don't approach me in the same way that they do when I have my hair buzzed as opposed to when I have longer hair, you know? It's a real thing. I personally, that's not the way I would handle, like I would have handled that situation, me being me, right? The bank teller, she commented that like her stomach started hurting, you know,
it's a pretty scary situation.
It's a scary situation, you know, because of the misunderstanding, you know, like, so she's a bank teller, you know, she's pregnant, you know, she's she in that moment you don't know exactly what, somebody's just coming up to you with a note, wearing a mask,
it says give me this much money discreetly.
Yeah, and it's odd, you know, it's odd.
Yeah.
To approach it in that situation, right? The cops maybe didn't have to pull out their guns. They kind of did at a certain point. I saw the video about it. And that's always a cop's first response is the gun, and that's exactly what's wrong with these situations. He wasn't robbing a bank, you know. He used his ID, he used his card. Yes, and these things all together though. There's just so many. When you leave room for misinterpretation, there could be an issue. You know, somebody could get hurt. Mm-hmm. Either way, right? It could have been a bank robbery, but it also couldn't have been a bank robbery. You know, like it goes either way. I don't think that the way that it was approached or the way that he approached the situation was the way to do it, in my opinion.
No, agreed. And I think he kind of agreed to that as well.
Okay.
You know, he's like, oh, yeah, I've spoken with Bank of America management. We all agree it was a misunderstanding, so it's squashed.
Cool.
You know? So I'm sure he's aware that he's like, oh, yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah, it also kind of became a bigger thing. Like it started becoming like this underlying racism situation.
Yeah. That's why Bank of America was like, tell it was black.
Yeah.
At least for now.
Yeah. Shut up. I was speaking about other stuff, but then I got... Okay, shut up. Anyway. It was a crazy story. It was crazy to see the videos about it because they had like body cams and stuff like that. I'm happy it's squashed at least. So
yeah. So moving on.
Done.
Oh, do you have any news to
No, that was it.
All right. Nothing to add. So DrWho SpyfallPart2.
Yes, that episode.
It happened.
Season 12, episode 2. Yes. Yeah, let's talk about it.
All right. Give it to me, Jaime.
Okay. So
use your words.
I did feel like I felt like she was just like collaborating with women across time just because.
I do have it became a who's who of
like famous women, like women who have been influential on what technology, I guess, like at the end of the day, because that's why these beings came to be, which was the Kasabian, whatever.
I didn't write I was like, I'm not gonna write it down. I'll remember.
You don't remember?
But I put it's a who's who of women of history.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was necessary for the story, right? Because
it wasn't.
Yeah, it really wasn't, and so it just. The writing is so bad in this show, and I feel like they're like we're just throwing things in to have like a woman power moment, which is you can do this. You can do that.
This is that end game woman power scene.
I like that scene. I don't care what you say. It was
cool.
What?
Actually, I kind of
it was cool. It was a cool scene. It made sense in a sense. It made
no sense. It made no sense whatsoever.
Okay, it made no sense.
Especially when you think
about it. But they were all there.
Especially when you think about it, it's all the women and Spider-Man.
Yeah. And then also Mantis doesn't do anything. So why was she in it? Anyway, I felt like that's what they were trying to do with this, and I don't know when this is 2020, right? Anyway, who knows? I feel like they were just trying to make a point, but without really establishing why these women were involved. The
Nora, I forget her last name. Nora Nayit.
Yes, the spy, Parisian spy.
Madeline. Codename Madeline. Yeah. So there's this other podcast that I used to listen to called True Spies.
Yeah.
Which is narrated by Haley Atwell.
Oh yeah.
Whom I love. Agent Peggy Carter.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh, I might check this out.
And it's interviews. A lot of them are interviews with people who are real life spies, and they're just telling stories and really interesting.
Very cool.
Some of them are just stories about spies, and they did it on Nora and Nayit. Oh, man, I can't remember her last name. Khan. Mm-hmm. Nora Nayat Khan, and She dies in a pretty gruesome way.
Oh no!
Like it's
yeah.
Like she's captured and tortured and like just executed. And it's terrifying. It's like really sad. But she's such a huge influence, and like she helped turn the tide of that war a lot. But
they were so they were trying to make this about two things: about spies and about technology. In a sense, I don't fucking know at this point, but it was just kind of like I wish that then they would have given them more relevance, through the episodes, through the show. Also, like I didn't understand why the Doctor was thrown back into time like the way she was. It's like she ended up with Ada Lovelace / Ada Gordon in the early 19th century or something like that. I think they were saying, or 18 something. She ended up back in time, and I didn't understand like why. Like it just again, it was just a reason to bring in Ada. Oh hey, like we're just gonna bring you into this episode because it was like we were in the future, or we were in present time, I guess. There was all these like light monster things who were based around technology. But you know what? Let's just travel to the past. Let's throw the Doctor into the past and have her bring in Ada, and she was a cool character. But I don't know if it fit the maybe you should have done a whole other episode. They do those type of period pieces anyway, with Ada. Okay, like if that's the type of woman power you want to represent, great, no issue, but make it make sense.
Did a whole Rosa Parks episode.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's much. It's too much, of that going on, right? Like
for no reason.
For no reason. And that's the real issue with it, for no reason, right? Especially in this episode. Ada was brought in just because she was the beginner of technology. Like she was some of the, like, a person that helped create technology. I mean, it honestly felt like she was just there, Then they traveled forward in time to 1943, Paris 1943, and that's when they run across Nora, and she did not seem like an important character at first. Like, she was just like somebody running through an alley, and then all of a sudden she was just like with them, not even so much an important character, because really, what was she there for? What did she do aside from, like, she hid the doctor at one point?
Yeah.
How did they live?
Doctor can't hide by herself.
By herself, like
doctor can't do anything by herself.
It really just became about collecting the woman doctor, collecting the doctor, Ada and Nora, and it was just like they're a group of 3 women, but for no reason,
Yeah.
It got a little, like, messy in this situation, especially the way the time traveling was happening in it. Like, I didn't understand why she went to the past. Somehow she ended up being in the correct time. She like, they ended up in the beginning of the episode, Ryan sees instructions to be saved by the doctor.
Yeah.
Because the doctor traveled back in time and left instructions for the future of these airplanes. So that's how it just.
This was kind of. I think they were trying to emulate Blink. With David Tennant doing that whole talking through the screen, but it just wasn't well done, especially because in here they're in an emergency situation, and the doctor's sitting there trying to make jokes. Like, stop talking to the screen. And then she's like, all right, do this fast. I'm worried you might lose me. And then the screen blacks out. It's like, well, shit, you had time for all this other conversation, to try to look clever. But, like, you did nothing.
She really didn't.
And what did they do? They plugged the phone in?
They plugged the phone into the airplane, and then he could control the airplane. And then they pointed out his dyspraxia again, right? Oh, I can control an airplane, but I can't ride a bike. What? What the fuck? Like, what was the whole point of that? I also felt like they tried to do this thing with the master, because the master's in this episode as well. They tried to do this thing that they did with Hawk Girl and Hawkman from DC Legends of Tomorrow, where, like, he existed across different times, right? Like, and it makes sense. He's the master, doctor, blah blah, right? But they try to make it seem like he had just been. Like, he was just living through these times, like, and then just moving forward with the time. And so, like, that's where he would run into the doctor in the past, and then.
Is that what they were doing?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't get that?
No, because I was like, how the fuck did the master find her?
Yeah, he was just living through time, like, he was just, because they live for a long time, right?
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, why would it have been that iteration? That was what, 100 years ago?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't make sense, because it's not like he was traveling through different times.
No, because I do remember at the end where when he's talking to them, he goes, "Oh, I've had to wait 17 years or something like that," and I was like, "Oh, he couldn't travel forward in time was he stuck without his TARDIS?" Yeah,
which is so weird. Yeah, because the doctor.
No, but he had to have had his because that's why he got stuck back then.
The doctor took his TARDIS.
The doctor took his.
Yeah,
TARDIS.
So that's what I'm saying. He lived through those times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he lived through those times, like, as opposed to just traveling through different times, like the doctor. Not even because the doctor wasn't doing it. Wait. Oh, yeah, because she used his TARDIS. That's why. See, I just got confused by it. But yeah, he lived through those times where she didn't. So he was like actually in that time.
Yeah.
Living it type of thing.
I also thought it was really kind of fucked up that it only took the doctor 2 episodes to use the master's race against him.
The master's what?
Race, like his ethnicity.
Oh, like why? What do you mean by that?
Because he just turned off his perception filter and left him to the Nazis.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, that escalated. Wow, she's racist.
Yeah. She's like, look, he's not white.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the doctor realizes that the light creatures are from of the realm in which she's in, that whole green place.
Yeah.
And it goes again, like, she learns, like, there was no explanation.
Yeah.
She was just talking, and all of a sudden she knows it.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for her to know it.
And even like the reason for her to be in it still just doesn't make sense to me. Like it didn't make sense in the sense of like, why is she there and then how does she come out on the other side, you know, or like in the past, right? Like when Ada was there too. Yeah. She was like, oh cool, I'm just having like it was almost like I'm just you know how they say it, like I'm just astral projecting myself or something, and I ended up in this world where these aliens exist, and somehow I can travel between here and that world. Like, what was the real reason why though? I mean, I know
plot.
I mean, at the end of the day, because nothing else happened, and like you said, she realized it, and it just made so much sense to her, you know. Yeah. And
then like that whole time, the Doctor has no urgency to save her companions.
Yeah.
Like, keep in mind, at this point, they're not saved in her mind.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, because they're still on the plane.
Yeah, they're still on the plane. And it's up to the end of the episode where she's like, oh yeah, I gotta go save you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and the Doctor does not approve of Ada using the machine gun to save her. But then she throws a bomb.
Yeah, and it was okay. That I totally wrote that too. I was like, wait, and it was, mind you, was it an actual machine gun? I thought it was just like shooting steam or something like that. Well, I mean, either way, she was not happy about the steam hurting the Master. But here's a fucking bomb, and she was just okay with that. She did not have an issue with that. It didn't make that did like for sure. I was like, what the heck, Doctor? Like, a bomb's okay, but not a machine gun.
Yes.
It was getting kind of crazy. The one thing too, the story with I don't even remember his name. Daniel? Was his name Daniel?
Yeah.
That whole story, like, what? Where did it go?
Because they need something for the companions to do.
That's really what it was. That's really what it was with this situation too. It became so overwhelming that like he like murdered his mom, and we don't even really know why.
No.
You know, like he was just like mad at her. It was like, they don't get along, but hey, by the way, I'm gonna kill you. And then he tells them, oh, by the way, take care of my mom. She's already dead, homie. Yeah. Like, you know, like, what do you want?
He also just decides to FaceTime them.
Yeah.
Just for no fucking reason, just to give them information.
Yeah. Yeah. I did think that some of the underlying elements were pretty interesting though, right? Like, the whole goal was to make people into just empty hard drives, right? Mm-hmm. So that they could, you know, I don't know why. I think about it. Yeah. It was just to wipe them.
I was wondering where you were going.
I didn't know where it was a cool idea, right? Like, you can think about the Matrix, right? Like, essentially the people are made to power the robots, right? But who are you powering? You knew that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But who are they powering? Like, they're just going to be empty hard drives. That's it. It's like you just wipe a disk and you just leave it there, you know, like floppy disk. Oh my God, floppy disk. it really, and that was his goal, and he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna destroy the world. That's why he was just okay with it. Again, like, okay, the most, like he said, like, you know, one of the most powerful hard drives is like the human mind or whatever, mm-hmm. right? Cool, you're formatting people, you know, like, I get it, right? But what was the real purpose? You know, it could have been like a Matrix related thing. They could have been more thorough about explaining that, but did they really? In my opinion, no. Like, it wasn't really that.
So Ada, at one point, she goes, she's wise and unafraid, and I believe in her. And I'm like, but why?
You just met her.
What has she? No, not just that. She hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
She knelt in front of the Master, and it was Ada that saved her.
Yeah.
It was Ada that jumped in with the Doctor when she was being transported through time. Like, the Doctor did nothing.
They didn't want to take her. Yeah, either.
Not just that. Like, she didn't do anything. Yeah. She hasn't done anything.
Yeah. Boba Fett, yeah.
Yes. Every character around her is more interesting than she is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, not really.
Oh, yeah. There's Yaz.
Yeah. Well, and even Ryan, you know, like, they're not interested. I'm sorry, I know you like Graham.
I do like Graham.
Okay. I mean, he's not he's not like, it's not like he, I mean, I guess in the group of them, you know, like, in the grander picture, like, yeah, okay.
He's the most interesting. Well, he's the one with the most personality. Let's say that.
He's funny.
He's the one with the most personality.
Yeah.
Not interesting, but he has personality.
Yeah.
But then the Master just talks to her about his plan, just expositions all over her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, like, she knows nothing until she knows everything.
Yeah. And then the three of them were just like out doing this mission, following him. They were hiding at certain points, like, after the airplane, quote unquote, like, landed. they were hiding so close to him, but he could not locate them in the hangar. You know, like
Yep.
it was such a weird scene too. I was like, what's going on here? You know, they became like these spies. They didn't. This story was not a good story. It really wasn't.
And then how did the master escape the Nazis?
Yeah.
He just tells you.
Yeah.
He's like, you know how many times I had to escape things?
Yeah.
Like what do you do? He
I
just
just
lived through
escaped.
everything. Yeah. He got a job, lived a life, had kids. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. We learned that Gallifrey like is destroyed.
Yeah.
Apparently,
He destroyed Gallifrey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then she gives them the master, and the master's transported to their realm.
Yeah.
Fucking why?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Because so he got caught. Well, he got caught saying all the bad things that he was saying about them, quote unquote. But they couldn't hear this before.
No.
Because they don't exist in fucking walls like they do. Like, how did they not know this? Like, it was so weird. Those characters were those light monsters were pretty, like Kasavan, some shit like that. They were pretty interesting. They could have been something more, and they weren't. They really weren't. They were.
They're not a racist greaser from the future, though.
I mean, again,
Who is, right?
that guy. Hopefully they bring him back. No.
Rasco. The fuck.
And she does travel like at the end. She travels back to Gallifrey, and realizes it really is destroyed. She didn't believe him. Mm-hmm. But can't she just go back in time and like figure out what happened? She's a doctor.
No.
Why did she wipe everybody's mind too? And so this is where kind of like I feel like the story, and that's the problem with like history. It's like now can the doctor always erase your mind? Is that something? Okay, I missed that then. I was really confused by that because I haven't seen.
They don't do it often because it's kind of unethical type thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and yeah.
Yeah,
that's the plot reason. Like it's a cop out.
Yeah. So and that's why it was just falling apart to me. Like that story, it's like, what was the point of those ladies and bringing them to the future to do
women power?
But really
Power
in the story, what was the real reason? Because really they didn't do anything. No. You know, they were there as support, and I mean not even support. They were just moving forward with her in this. And if they would have tied it in better, you know, somehow it would have made sense. And then she just went back and like erased everybody's mind, and that was it. Gallifrey's on fire, and we're there now.
Yeah.
So I didn't see the next episode, and I'm sorry, but I'll catch it this week. So you don't even have to watch an episode this week.
I know that's a good thing. I already have my notes.
Anything else you want to add about this Doctor episode?
Not even a little. The theme song's good.
Again, I go back to the sound effects and the music that plays. Really intense music. It's really good. The music is really what drives me through the episode. You know, I'm just like, oh shit, but for no reason, or for the musical reason, you know. But yeah, that's it.
All right. So moving on from Doctor Who, and let's do Doom Patrol.
Yes, something good.
Time Patrol.
Time Patrol. Yes.
All right. So let's start in the beginning of the episode. It was Niles.
It was Niles. That's yeah. Not yeah.
You good?
Sorry. Okay, I'm good. Wait, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, it was Niles. So okay, cool. I mean, now that we know it's Niles.
Yes.
Yeah, because it really. I'm like, was that Niles? But yes, this time we get to see who Niles really is, and also we got to see one of
a young Danny.
A young Danny. Oh yeah, well that's much later on though.
No, he was a young alleyway in the beginning.
No, that happened much later on.
No, because when he takes the little girl.
Yeah, but
in the very beginning.
What I was gonna say.
He drops off
to Danny Alley.
To
Denali.
A young alleyway named Danny.
Well, I was gonna say the candle monster because we got to see the candle monster.
Oh, that's right.
Did you forget about
that?
No,
but that was a little.
No, it happened in the circus.
Oh,
yes.
Because I was thinking when she pops up on Jane.
No, that's a different one. That's the glass lady.
Wait, which candle monster?
The first. Okay, so this is.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Can I?
Okay. I get it.
I'm gonna fight you right now. Anyway. When we're in the circus, we get to see the slaughter of everybody because of the candle monster thing.
Yes.
Do you remember the candle monster?
I do.
Okay.
It looked like the one from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, except giant.
Yeah.
Yes. It did look exactly. Extra candles on its head, you know.
It was a Jewish.
Wow. Anyway, the candle monster slaughtered everybody.
Because of the menorah.
I get it. Anyway, but yeah, and so we actually we end up learning that this is actually his daughter, his real daughter. And again, we had questions about it because
he fucked that horse.
He might have a half horse daughter somewhere too. Then in a book somewhere or something. Yeah, because it does say he knows it's his daughter because of the same man bear pig that she summons as well, like his lover, the Neanderthal woman. That's what I'm gonna call her.
Yeah,
that's what I've been calling her. But yeah, so and then we do get to see Danny as an alley as opposed to Danny as a street in this one, which is cool. We've seen different stages of Danny. We've seen Danny as a brick, Danny as a street, Danny as an alley. I think that's pretty cool, the way it's kind of growing and aging, you know. And of course that's where he's taking her, taking Dorothy to stay safe and to keep the world safe from her. Mm-hmm. What'd you think?
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it. I liked that whole intro to the monster. There was again the Slaughterfest. It was good to understand who she really was, Dorothy, because I really did not know if it was really his daughter or not. The only thing that was tying them together was the man bear pig, and now we know.
Yeah. We also learned that the necklace is what's keeping Niles alive.
Yeah, that's right.
And he gave that up.
Yep, he gave it to Constantine, right?
Yeah.
What is that guy's name again?
Willoughby.
He gave the necklace to Willoughby. Yeah.
Yes.
And so the goal in this episode is to again help Niles find a way to live longer than the girl.
Yeah.
You know? And they're going back to what they've been doing. Well, what he was doing originally by himself, but now with the team, with the Doom Patrol, you know?
I did kind of laugh really hard when Larry walks in and he goes, "My son is dead." And Robot Man responds with, "Did the chief kill him too?" Oh my god.
He had a lot of good one notes, yeah. one lines,
so hard at that.
Yeah. They're all
hold on a separate note. I was reading this thing about Brendan Fraser and how he was doing like an interview, and like they mentioned, the whole internet's behind you, like we all love you, and he kind of like teared up and choked up a little bit. And it's like, oh, like he doesn't know how much he is loved.
Yeah, and that's I saw that same. It was like he was like on almost like at like a con or something, right? Yeah, he was like on stage, and the people, because there was also like a video of like this girl who had expressed like how much she cared for them too, and that he really appreciates it. You know, it was super emotional video for sure. I saw it.
All right, sorry, just that was a quick aside.
No, it's okay. So. Yeah, and there's a few different stories that are going on in this episode too. So we get Larry's story about his family, right? Because he's just doing his own thing right now. His son just died, and he kind of spins off on his own story. Cyborg is back in Detroit,
getting some.
Well, not yet, but he's going through like therapy or group therapy session because of his. I guess he thinks he has post-traumatic stress disorder. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's going through that, and then we have the main focus of the story, which is trying to find Niles a way to live longer because they don't want him to die. And also, if he dies, it seems like Dorothy's gonna go off. She's gonna go crazy because she's already borderline like tense, and her imaginary friends are kind of popping out of nowhere now too. Like it's almost like she can't control them as well as she used to be able to.
Yeah. So their goal is to find the Continuuminium. Continuuminium, is that right?
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that's what they call it, the Continuuminium.
It
was found in the meteor.
Yes. It was fun.
Did you just sound it out?
Oh, yeah. Because I thought it was something else, so I wanted to make sure that I wrote it the way you're saying.
But it was found in a meteor by Dr. Time.
Yeah.
Tyme.
Yep. Yeah, and so, and also, by the way, Jane is also going through her like situation where like she's kind of torn up. We do see like flashes. Oh wait, that happens later on. But so Dr. Time. Let's talk about Dr. Time.
Yes, the artist rendition of it was pretty funny.
What do you mean?
Rita Drew.
Miss Minutes. That's who I thought. Like to me, it was Miss Minutes on it, and I like how she's like gathering everybody, and she's the one that's like leading the team right now. I think she's cool, dude. Like I really like Rita. But yeah, she draws him, and they eventually create like a portal to be able to visit him with his continuum.
Like he's just like if no one's gonna notice.
Anyway, they create a portal and go to the
and Robot Man only joins in because Dials doesn't want to.
Yeah, the complete opposite.
Yeah,
he's like, this is reverse psychology. Yeah, dude, like, okay, I have to say that the random ass characters that they introduce into the show, they're so cool. Like, they're so cool. Dr. Time,
he's flamboyant as fuck.
I loved it. Flamboyant.
Yeah,
like
not gay, but just flamboyant.
Like like outward. He's in a disco era vibe. He has like all these people like just dancing with him to Bad Girls.
Yeah,
you know,
it is Bad Girls.
It was such a fun scene, like to see that like the initial intro, and mind you, like the design of the character. Okay, the body was a cop like. That was lame. You know, you could have given him a lab coat at least. I don't know, something like he could have been still in his disco clothes underneath and just given him something additional like on top. Adolfo said that he looked like Cyborg. Like it looked like it could have been Cyborg just in like this costume. With like a different like headpiece. To me, the character was like when I saw him, I was like, this is a cool looking comic book character. And again, I think this is what I love about the show is that even though again. Like, you know how we try to get everything too real, right? Like in, you know, like the Batman, you know?
Grounded in reality.
Yeah, grounded in reality. This is a comic book movie. Like it is, you know, these characters look like maybe almost like they come directly from comic books, you know? And that's great. Dr. Time was just such a cool character. His personality, like the disco era vibe, like was just so cool in that moment. And I was so digging it. I was digging that whole situation, that scene. It was really cool. No,
totally. Like that was a fun scene, and just seeing everybody react to it. Oh, not this goddamn song again.
Yeah. Well, Robot Man. Yeah. The group of them. Yeah.
But the line they say, nobody should be judged by the worst thing they ever did.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because if you're someone like Hitler.
Yeah. Or a murderer, just in general.
Yeah. Just these. We judge everybody on the worst thing they ever did.
Yeah, and of course mistakes happen. You know, like it's understand. And the person who says this is I didn't get her name. Did you get her name?
No.
Anyway, Cyborg in a different scene, not the disco scene. Cyborg, because he's going through his group therapy, meets she's a former. I think she's a veteran. She did say what she was in, but I don't remember what that was. She's the one that says that line. You know, she talks about how she's the one. She talks about how, like, again, they didn't really explain why. You know, you could tell there's going to be a deeper story with her, which is cool. I want to learn more about her.
Yeah, there was.
She's hella stop.
Cyborg went deep in that storyline.
Stop.
What?
But I want to watch. But aside from that, like, there was, because in that scene she was getting mugged, you know, and Cyborg, you know, like stopped the situation. Or no,
he showed up.
Yeah, he just showed up, right? That's right, because she kicked that guy's ass, you know, and she wanted to let him go, but Cyborg was like, nah, I called the cops already, you know, and they were going back and forth, right? Like, it's like, she was saying, give him a chance, you know, make sure.
Yeah, give him a second chance. There's going to be a third chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we'll give him a fourth.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not how baseball works.
Well, so... Right, but so she's the one, and you could tell again. There's gonna be a deeper story. Instead of being nasty, but there's gonna be something more said about that because I mean, she might have killed somebody. She's from the war, you know, or whatever it was. Well, she's hella young, by the way, too. So I felt like they were trying to give her the vibe of an older person because of the way. It's just that's the vibe that I got. But then she's really young looking, you know. Mm-hmm. So,
well, I mean, soldiers, 18 years old. That's all you need to be.
No. That's true.
That's all you need to be given a rifle and go kill people.
Yeah.
21 to drink, though.
Yeah. Yes, that's our times.
Yes, because you are not responsible enough to drink. Yeah. But here's a gun.
Again, it makes sense, right?
Go get him, Tiger.
Culture. Yeah. So the Dr. Time, the There's another thing too that's happening with Jane. Like we start. Well, and this kind of happens because of the Dr. Time. So maybe I'm jumping to the Dr. Time situation again. So when you see Dr. Time, he has a clock face. Yes. Almost exactly the way Rita drew him. He has a clock face.
Robot Man apologized. He's like, I'm sorry for judging your drawing.
Yeah. He literally has, a clock face, helmet. It could be perceived either way, right? Like, it could be perceived that way, right?
A clock head.
A clock head. Yes, a mechanical piece instead of an actual like face like you and I as humans, right? It turns out that that's actually his real head, yes. Right? Because he like through the whole whatever is going on, they're trying to collect the continuum. They're trying to collect it. They realize it's in the back of his head. Or it's inside. It's in his head. It's in his head. But how did they realize that specific?
Well, they think it's in the helmet.
Okay.
So Rita tries to
because he's shooting lasers.
Off. Yeah, and Rita tries to pull the helmet off.
Yeah.
And she just drops him and busts his head open.
Yeah. So his continuum just spills out of the back of his head because it's cracked open. His brain also just slides across the ground. And it turns out that that's his real head, you know, like it's his real head. His brain is what is made up of the continuum. And I got better at saying that, by the way, through the show. You're welcome.
We've all listened to Jaime's progression live.
I'm more confident in saying it now too. So it spills out, and like initially you saw him kind of freezing certain people in time, even them at a certain point too. And it was because of the way that he just shoots lasers or time lasers out of his brain to freeze everybody. So that's what the real source of the continuum is that brain, his brain, you know, even though he's like a clock head person. It was, and so they go to collect it. It was Robot Man and Jane go to collect it. They touch it, and both of them start getting flashbacks of like a different time.
Yeah.
So for Cliff specifically, it was when Niles was putting them together as a robot, and it's kind of like uncomfortable, right? He was getting mad and stuff like that too. The Jane part, do you remember what happened with Jane?
No, I do not.
No. Oh well, she got thrown back into
the therapy.
It was K.
Well, seems like I have two different episodes in my head now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
spoilers.
Yeah, so I'm trying not to spoil anything.
Okay.
We were supposed to watch 2 episodes.
I know what you're talking about.
Found the time to watch both episodes.
Anyway, what I was saying is Kay is being baptized in this one. Kay, like her original soul. Yeah. Well, she wasn't really. She's like in her teens or something.
Yeah, the main. Well, not the main personality, but
the real personality.
Yeah, the one they're all there to protect.
Yes. So Kay is being baptized. She's being baptized. They're trying to get the demons out of her.
They're trying to exorcise her.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Trying to get the demons out of her. Anyway, she's being baptized, and they're changing through. She's changing through personalities.
Yeah.
And I guess one of the core personalities, Miranda decides to take over the body in that moment and just pretend to be Kay.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't want her going through this torture. She's like being basically almost drowned and taken out of water, and you know.
Yeah. They say Miranda was so powerful because she knew what the girl wanted.
Yeah. And then she jumped in a well, right? Is what they mentioned too. Yeah.
Yeah, so, in the well, in the underground.
In the underground, yeah. So there's some craziness going on in the underground.
Yeah, because like they had this was in the past episodes, right, where they mentioned that Miranda figured out what was going on with Kay.
Yeah. Oh, where she is.
Yeah. So that's why she jumped in the well.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Was that the situation with her dad, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so she's just in the well. But it seems like maybe something's gonna come of her too, though, right? Like they might bring her up and.
Well, it seems like that's what the setup's going.
Yeah, because then it's Jane who's become the core personality, and then again you have the other ones kind of coming in and out. You know, still kind of showing themselves, but a lot less because of the fact that she's taking that metahuman repressing drug. So
yeah.
It's crazy. Like that story is really interesting to me too. Like Jane, again, I like Jane. Well, I like all the characters. I really do. Like so far, you know, and but the craziness that's going on in her head by herself, you know, this whole underground world that we saw previously too. It's just, man, it's so fascinating. I want to know so much more about it. You know?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Rita also does turn back time. She ends up using the hands on Time's head.
Yeah.
To turn back time.
Yeah. Very appropriate. Yeah.
And what does he say to her once he comes to? Because he says something to her, doesn't he? I didn't write it down.
I don't remember what he says. No, what did he say? It was important.
He brings her back. Like, she brings him back to life, and he says something before they send him back, right?
Yeah,
he sends them all back.
He sends them all back. Obviously, they live without the continuum, and they realize. Well, they came to the assumption that Niles sent them to murder somebody. You know,
yeah.
So they were all like kind of upset, and Rita slapped Niles in this scene too. So that was pretty crazy. And like he said, look, I have very little information, but then it really gets you questioning Niles quite a bit. You know, like really.
I think that's the point.
Yeah, and I get it. I get it. It makes sense. You know,
he did fuck that horse.
And the Neanderthal woman, and has a eternal child now. You know, eternally living child. But it again. So what is his end goal? It seems very destructive, you know, like, because his goal is only to like live one day longer than the girl.
Yeah,
is what he keeps saying, you know. And that's where I think that like he's gonna probably end up dying anyway in this show. And no spoilers, guys. We're gonna watch this, but it's just been crazy. I do have to say too, Dorothy's losing she's losing control of the personalities of the
imaginary friends.
The imaginary friends, yeah. Has been really cool too, because we saw the mirror lady coming down from the roof and like just like sitting next to Jane while she was like sleeping or whatever. And that was such a creepy scene too. Yeah. Like it totally threw me for a loop. And then the spider jumped out of like a door that, you know, and he just disappeared. And Herschel was the spider's name. And again, really cool scene, you know, like with these imaginary creatures that are just running around now and possibly going to show up more and more. I guess we'll see.
All right.
It ends. So Larry wasn't really talked about that much.
No, he goes to say goodbye to Gary.
Yeah, his son.
Larry and Gary.
Yeah. What was the other son's name?
I have no idea what the son's name was.
Harry.
Yeah, but he was like, say something else. Oh, yeah, it's me.
Yeah. Yeah, because he can't tell it's his dad, but it was his other son that was still alive at that funeral. What was up with the butterflies? Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
We'll find out. There's oh, you do know. Yeah. You saw 2 episodes. I got it. Okay. So that was the last thing I saw. It was a butterfly landing on his shoulder. Well, in one of the scenes, and then later on, he was in a field, and there was all these butterflies, and they all started surrounding Larry. So,
who knows? I don't.
Yeah, I can't think of anything like what else aside from, again, it was a cool story. A lot of really cool things. We got a lot of details about Jane, Miranda, and Kay. A little bit more details for that. Dorothy, same thing. You know, I can't wait for her to lose it to see what happens.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I really like the next episode, so I can't wait to talk about it next week.
Shut up. I gotta watch another episode too.
So we'll wait now.
All right.
You know what? Let's watch it and come back. Let's reconvene in an hour. I'm kidding. All right. All right, Jaime, bring us home.
Yes.
Who's that Pokemon?
Great. Okay. Before I get into the Pokemon, though, we're gonna start covering DMZ, which is what you and I were just talking about.
Yes.
DMZ, it's a DC project, I think we said, right? It's gonna be on HBO Max, with starring Rosario Dawson as Alma, and also Benjamin Bratt as Parco Delgado.
As what?
Parco Delgado.
Okay.
Parco? Is that how you say that? Parco?
You're the one reading it.
Why is his name Parco? But I guess we'll find out. We have no idea what it is, but it's number one, it's Rosario Dawson, so I'm excited about it just because I like Rosario Dawson. And it's a DC project, from what we know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to give people a heads up about that. Did you mention DC Titans season 4 is coming out someday?
I didn't mention it yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's Sunday?
No, I said someday.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, because I didn't have a release and I kind of didn't want to look into it.
No
For
one does.
reasons.
Nobody does. But now it's time for JaimesPokedex.
Who's that Pokemon?
Okay. Thank you, Jose. I appreciate it.
I got you.
This week, I will be covering another Pokemon found in the Hisui region. This one is named, Lilligant is the one I'm mainly going to cover. But this is Petlil, its baby version. So, Petlil. Thank you. Petlil, it's on National Pokedex number is number 548. And it was originally introduced in Pokemon Black and White, which is Gen 5 in the Unova region. So, just in case you didn't know that. Which you don't.
I didn't know that.
She is categorized as the bulb Pokemon, and its typing is grass. Pokemon? The bulb.
Bulb.
Yes, like a flower bulb.
Yes.
Okay. Pokemon, and it's grass type. So. I wasn't waiting for that, but I thank you. So this is again the reason I'm covering this is because it's one of the noble Pokemon. Well, its evolution, its final evolution, but this one, basically what I learned about it is in the Unova region and also in the Hisui region, this is the leaves on its head are very bitter. Eating one of these leaves is known to refresh a tired body. They eat you up. And actually, that's talked about in the game too. Like somebody needs you to bring one of these Pokemon to them so that they can create medicine from it. So yeah, the leaf, but it always regenerates. Oh, that's something I was going to say next. In Alola, some say if you dry the leaves on its head, boil them down, and drink the infusion, your vigor will return. So Petlil is popular with the elderly.
so it's Viagra.
Viagra of a Pokemon, yes.
Okay.
And lastly, in Galar for Petlil, Petlil appears around sources of clean water. Boiling leaves from the Pokemon's head results in liquids, in a liquid that sometimes is used as a bug repellent. So it's not just to give you vigor, but also protects you from bugs. You're welcome.
So it protects you from bugs and makes you horny.
Yes. Maybe that's why. Because you know how bugs are giant in Pokemon? Ew.
Wait, what? Where's this going, Jaime?
You're the one that said it. There's not much else about Petlil because it's Gen 5, so it's not too far ago. We don't have like a lot of Pokedex entries. Yeah. Now, it does evolve into Lilligant. There's two different versions. Lilligant. This is the original Lilligant, and this is the Hisui region Lilligant.
Huh. I'd hit that.
Don't. That's gross. Lilligant is National Pokedex 549. People do that to Pokemon, and that is not cute. I'm gonna just say that, and I'm gonna point this out.
Who does that?
People sexualize Pokemon all the time on the internet. You can literally type.
People sexualize everything on the internet.
It's weird. This is okay. You just said you'd hit this, so you can literally type in there's a TikTok that does this, right? You type in a Pokemon's name into Google, and you can scroll, and they count how long it takes before the Pokemon is sexualized. It's so weird.
I mean, I'm just saying I pollinate her.
It's funny. Lilligant can only be female too. Like most other.
That works.
This is a plant animal. You're fucking okay. Stop fucking this plant animal. You're weird. I want you to know that. First, you like it in the ears. Now you're trying to fuck a Lilligant. What the fuck? I guess. Anyway, the original Lilligant, which was the one that's a little bit more plump for you, it was introduced also in Pokemon Black and White and Gen 5 in Unova, whereas the new Lilligant, or not the new Lilligant, I guess you can say this is the even more ancient Lilligant, was introduced in Pokemon Legends Arceus in the Hisui region. So these two are categorized by the flowering Pokemon and the mellow Pokemon. Originally, it is grass type, which is the bulbous one, whereas the newer one is grass and fighting type.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Both evolve by using the Sunstone. Look, I have a picture of a Sunstone for you too.
Ooh, fancy.
It is. And let me tell you a little bit about the Sunstone.
Yes, please. Tell me about the Sunstone.
It's a peculiar stone that makes certain species of Pokemon evolve. It is as red as the sun. That's all that you get.
Wow.
I like the stones. You know, like how you get the EVs and to evolve. I like that. It's cool. Like just magical objects that make things evolve. You know, it's really cool. Anyway, about Lilligant and Unova. So even veteran trainers face a challenge in getting its beautiful flower to bloom. The Pokemon is popular. The Pokemon is popular with celebrities. The Pokemon withers if not well taken care of.
Same.
Clearly. In Alola, slut. In Alola, as soon as it finds a male to be its partner, which is weird. Which is weird.
What's she fucking?
Well, and so this is weird because there are no male Lilligants.
That's why I'm asking. Like,
so,
what's she fucking?
I mean, well, technically, Pokemon can like there's like species groups,
interspecies or
that they're groups that they fall into that can breed together to create more of a specific Pokemon. But but these is just all female, so it could be like any other. Like I'm not sure what egg group it is. It's called an egg group.
Well, I can't wait for the next segment. Who's that Pokemon fucking?
Oh my god! And I can't believe we're having this. Stop. This was not supposed to be about that. Then again,
Who's that
Pokemon? Fucking. Anyway, stop it. People. Stop. I hate that. Anyway, Okay, where was I?
Because we all know Mr. Mime was taking down Ash's mom, right?
Oh my god, no.
That was a thing.
No, stop. No, that's weird. It looks weird. How could... Anyway, in Alola, what I was saying was as soon as it finds a male to be its partner, the beautiful flower on its head darkens, droops, and withers away. But no male Lilligants exist. I put that because I was like, yeah, that's weird. Yeah. Most women have to go through that after they meet a guy because you guys are assholes. Not the gay ones, the straight ones.
Not the gay ones.
You're not denying it. All right, so Lilligants are now. So obviously these are kind of different. Like the two Lilligants are different. You can tell that one is because of the way it's the way it's changed over time. Because originally it's more slender. It's a fighting type. Yeah. Now it's like because it's being groomed and taken care of by people or by things. That's why it's growing a little bit differently. But anyway, the Lilligant from Hisui, the Hisuian Lilligant, is worshipped in Hisui due to its it being one of the 10 ancient Pokemon who received blessings from Arceus. So it's one of the legendaries. Well, sorry, one of the nobles that got blessed.
Okay.
In particular, it is one. Okay. And this is where I was going to add the noble part. In particular, it is one of the nobles Pokemon who resides in Crimson Mire Islands. I run ahead of myself a little bit.
I noticed.
This is also like the one I told you about Cleavor a few weeks ago. So you know how like you have to throw bombs at them to calm them down?
Yes.
This is one of those that you have to battle. She does a lot of dancing moves. It's really cool.
Same.
And then in Hisui, Professor Laventin wrote, I suspect that its well-developed legs are the result of a life spent on mountains covered in deep snow. The scent it exudes from the flower crown hardens those in proximity.
Same.
Stop it. But
I give you guys Exhibit A. Points at Jaime.
Stop. I don't harden. I hard on. I'm just joking. I'm not a type of person. I'm innocent. But that was it. That was the Pokemon. The Pokemon in my Pokedex this week. That sounded really weird. Oh god. Lilligants and thank you so much. I appreciate it. You always make this weird. It's not supposed to be weird.
You should look at what you're typing then.
Yeah, I'm not typing this. This all exists already. I'm copying and pasting, if anything. But yeah, that was it.
All right, you learned so much.
Yes, Lilligant. You're welcome. Stop fucking Pokemon. It's not cute. It's not cute. It's weird.
All right, well, that's our show for today.
Yes.
I want to say thank you to Adolfo again. Adolfo, you're amazing.
Yes.
You do great work.
Yes.
We had no technical difficulties last week.
Yes.
Let's see how many we have this week. Because we have to make up for last week, right?
Yes. It seems like most things went fine, so I think we're good.
All right. So, guys, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any thoughts on whatever we talked about, please join the conversation. Tell us why we're wrong. Probably.
We won't listen anyway. No, just joking.
We made up our minds.
Yeah.
And join us next week. We have DMZ.
Yep.
We have more Doctor Who.
Yep.
We have DoomPatrol.
Correct.
And I'll make sure to bring some more news.
Yay.
From everybody that's going to be sending me stories that I've already either talked about or already wrote down.
Yes.
That's always fun.
Thanks, guys.
I do appreciate it. You got anything else to say?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right. That's it. Have a week.
Bye. You look at that, Jose. I mean,